Hello, in this presentation, Maria Ng and Sandy Kendell will be providing an overview of the impact evaluation process created by the author of our text, Guerra-Lopez. According to Guerra-Lopez 2008, the impact evaluation process is the newest of the evaluation models as it was only published in 2007 and based on the author's research, applied work, and teaching. She believes that everything we do, including evaluation, has an underlying purpose. The impact evaluation process was heavily influenced by Roger Kaufman's organizational elements model, as Guerra-Lopez worked closely with him on previous needs assessments. The Wayne State University website informs us that Dr. Guerra-Lopez completed all of her post-secondary work at Florida State University and is currently a professor at Wayne State University and director of the Institute for Learning and Performance Improvement. Guerra-Lopez explained that the overarching framework for this evaluation process is that the evaluand or program is a means to an end, with the end being three levels of research: strategic, which are long-term goals; tactical, short-term goals; and operational, which are the objectives that lead to the attainment of the organizational goals. She expresses that we cannot easily evaluate a single independent variable and determine its impact, as organizations have many independent variables, and both evaluations and performance improvement professionals need to understand any impact they observe is the result of many factors and are rarely due to a single cause. Evaluation from a systemic view is necessary, and one must understand their interdependencies to understand their impact. This evaluative process was designed for individuals that desire a clear guide through the evaluative process in mind. There are 7 steps in the impact evaluation process. We will sequence these steps, but the author explains that they can be considered reiteratively. The first step in the process is identifying the stakeholders that are going to be involved, including decision makers and anyone that will be affected by the evaluation. Guerra-Lopez states that the driving question for identifying stakeholders is who is or could be affected by the evaluation or could potentially affect the evaluation in a meaningful way. The second step in this evaluative process is the determining key decisions and objectives which will focus the evaluation. Determining decisions that stakeholders will need to make during the evaluative process early on allows for evaluators to hone in on important issues which will lead to the gathering of useful data. This will also allow for ensuring the program is aligned with the organization's objectives. The third step in the impact evaluation process is delivering measurable indicators. The driving force of this evaluation is gathering necessary data to answer the questions that guide the inquiry. This is a vital piece, as judgments are often made with incorrect or incomplete data. This mistake is a result of relying on existing data rather than obtaining new data, basically taking shortcuts and forcing new connections between inappropriate data and decisions that need to be made. Step 4 is where evaluators determine where to find the data they need. Oftentimes, a good starting point is existing performance records for the organization. Other sources may be experts, employees, and leadership. Selecting an appropriate data collection tool is in step 5, and it's dependent on the data required. Knowing the desired data will help the evaluator determine if they need a survey, sales report, or other type of data collection tool. Guerra-Lopez says that the secret ingredient for successfully collecting valid and reliable data is alignment of data type, data source, data collection tools, and later data analysis procedures. In step 6, a data analysis tool is chosen. The purpose of analyzing data is to organize the data to discover patterns used to provide useful information as a result of the evaluative study. Statistics provide us with information about the measure of central tendency, variance, and correlation between two or more events. The rationale for interpretations is always going to be articulated and tied back to the key findings which are based on the data analysis, making this an important step. Finally, step 7, effective communication, is a vital piece to ensuring the time and effort spent on the evaluative process was worth it. Communication to key stakeholders should take place throughout the process, allowing them to participate and provide feedback. The result at the end will be viewing products of the final report and debriefing not as something imposed on them, but as something they helped to create. This will likely allow for lower resistance to the findings and greater buy-in. Here we can see the 7 elements of the impact evaluation process as depicted in a 2012 article by Guerra-Lopez, in which she expresses that conditions must be met for any tool to have successful implementation. In the case of this tool, buy-in from key stakeholders is of utmost importance. In her 2008 book, this model describes the basic steps in the approach and depicts their nested relationship within the process and stakeholders and external impact on society as the basis for everything done in the evaluation.
What are other researchers saying about the impact evaluation process? In his review of Guerra-Lopez's book, Evaluating Impact, Evaluation, and Continual Improvement for Performance Improvement Practitioners, James Russell characterizes the impact evaluation process as being practical and easy to conduct. In 2015, Guerra-Lopez and Hicks noted that the impact evaluation process is not a one-size-fits-all model applied to an organization, but rather a model for identifying stakeholders and goals aligned with organizational vision, so its initial and ongoing implementation is organic and becomes part of the nature of the organization. It will also evolve as the organization's goals evolve. And in their work with an urban high school on program evaluation and improvement, Guerra-Lopez and Toker found that lack of technology information system resources significantly impacted the ability for the evaluation systems they helped design to function at the level needed to make timely, informed decisions. Organizations must consider investment in needed resources as part of the evaluation and improvement process. Strengths of the impact evaluation process include detailed guidance and a focus on alignment. From identifying key stakeholders to articulating objectives and aligning to the mission and vision of the organization, no step in the process is arbitrary or forced upon the situation from the outside. And once goals are established, data appropriate for the needs of the evaluation is identified, collected, and analyzed. Limitations of the model include the need to understand that the process is not linear but recursive, with the flexibility to revisit previous actions for clarity and adjustment as needed. Also, the ultimate purpose of evaluation, which is to help the organization be successful through adding value to society at large, may not be understood by stakeholders unless the evaluator helps the organization understand the importance of alignment with this ultimate goal. Applications of the impact evaluation process can be seen in multiple contexts. In 2012, Guerra-Lopez and Toker assisted an urban high school in working towards 6 goals around improvement in student academics, achievement, and school climate by using the impact evaluation process to put in place structures to improve decision-making through data collection and timely feedback. In 2011, as part of her doctoral dissertation research, Anne Blake evaluated a 6-year-old one-to-one technology program at a Catholic high school. She was able to highlight program successes, as well as make recommendations for more intentional faculty development, targeting interventions with at-risk students, and using the program's success as a marketing tool for the school. In 2015, the impact evaluation process greatly benefited an East African farmers union, which was accustomed to outside evaluation processes required of them by funding sources. By using the impact evaluation process to put into place monitoring and evaluation systems, they recognized the importance of continuing evaluation toward meeting their goals, rather than just being an extra burden placed on them by outside entities. In summary, a key idea of the impact evaluation process is that everything we do is aligned to some greater purpose. The process can be applied in education, government, nonprofit, and business sectors. Alignment and continuous improvement are key parts of the process. And the process is not done to an organization, but requires active participation from internal stakeholders based on organization vision, mission, and value added to society at large.